Hello and welcome to the IPF World Classic Powerlifting Championships 2022, presented by Eleiko and SBD in this, the 50th anniversary year of the IPF. We're here live from Sun City, South Africa. My name's Joe Whiteley. I'm here with Abdul Suleiman. Mo, you're lifting in the 105s. This is your first World Championship, right?
Yes, this is my first World Championships and also my second international event ever.
Wow, and you're nominated in 4th.
I am.
Wow.
Luckily enough.
You've come in hot.
I know.
So you're lifting on Friday?
Yes, I'll be lifting Friday in the 7 p.m. session.
Yeah, prime time. First World Championship, straight into prime time. Nervous? Feeling good?
I am nervous, and it's also going to be my first time competing in the evening. So it'll be interesting to see how dieting and everything and food and energy levels are around that time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we look forward to seeing how you do.
No problem.
So we have this morning, in fact today we have quite the program. We are starting off in just a moment with the 59 kilo category. Then we have the opening ceremony at 12:30, and then we go straight into the head-to-head battle in the 47 kilo class at 1 p.m. And then we have another fantastic head-to-head battle between the French lifters in the 52s, and that starts at 4 p.m. But this is the 59s. We have only 5 lifters in this group, and so we're obviously going to run it as one session, one flight. And we will have to have 1 minute break at the end of each round. The rules say that the minimum number of lifters is 6 in a group, and if you have less than 6, then you have to give the lifters a minute break just to get enough recovery. So Benjamin Yu from Canada is going to lead us out, and he's going to open with 165 kilos. We just have the national anthem being played on the platform at the moment, so as soon as that concludes,
okay, so the first
we will make a start.
165 kilos for Benjamin Yu of Canada. The order of lifting will be Yu, Epipara, Safari, Garcia, and Lakeha.
So you can see the graphic up on your screen at the moment. The top left tells you the weight category. The grey bar at the top tells you the rank and whether it will move up or down according to this lift. We've got the lifter's name in the middle, and the bbottom bar will populate as we go through the competition with the lifts good and bad. And we are underway with Benjamin Yu. 165 kilos on the bar. Nice and deep, quite a wide stance he's got there.
It is a very wide stance, but it looked very good. And considering his opener is 175, his best squat is 175 nominated, that is a strong 165 squat.
I think he's got a bit more left in the tank there.
Definitely.
Okay, so next up we have Takaharu Ebihara from Japan, and he's going to open his account with 180 kilos. PB is 197.5, so this should look comfortable. We had a huge team at Bench Worlds from Team Japan last week, and the technique they display is just incredible.
I'm looking forward to seeing this in person, actually.
Look fairly comfortable?
Really comfortable.
Take note, that's how you want your opener to look. So just watching that back on the replay, we get a nice side view on the replay. Sits it in, no deviation of position whatsoever, very nice squat.
Oslo, 185 kilos for Safari of Iran.
So we have Mehrdad Safari from Iran is coming out next. He's looking for 185. He's just taken a moment to chalk his hands. Really could have done that before his minute started ticking. You don't want to be wasting any of your time on the platform. If you get a re-rack command from the referees, then it suddenly becomes very panicky indeed.
It does.
I've had that myself. And you don't want to hear, you've got 10 seconds left. Nice and deep, but a little bit of work to do.
It was a bit slow. I did meet Zafari in the breakfast hall this morning and he seemed pretty confident, but we'll see how he does. Maybe just nerves.
I think nerves is a big factor here. Sits it in well, but just seems to lose his drive on the way up.
Yeah, it does.
But it's a nerve-wracking thing to do. You walk out in front of all these cameras and lights and IPF referees.
It is IPF forwards.
So we have Antoine Garcia, Team France, coming out next for 207.5. That's a big jump up.
And it's very close to his nominated max, 210.5.
So let's hope that's a good move, not a brave move.
Let's see.
To 10.5 was from French nationals in March, so he's had a bit of time to improve. But it was an effort.
It was an effort. It's not as slow as Zafari's, but it took quite a while to get up.
Yeah, so the problem with having to put some work in on your opener is it takes a little bit of the energy you want to be saving up for your third squat. Really, you just want to be getting on the board with your opener. That looked a little bit tough.
Well, it'll be interesting to see his game plan for today, because that was very close to his nominated max.
Mohamed Lakahal is now out next from Algeria. He's the last man out. And we've got 210 on the bar. Now it was slow, but the technique was great.
Very consistent.
Yeah.
Speed throughout the whole movement. Interestingly enough, he was nominated with a 180 squat.
Really?
Yes.
Ah, so that's a real jump up.
Yeah, a lot of mind games going on now.
Yeah, so that was, I would say that was just in. I would say that was the very definition of just in, but there's no point going too deep. So we have the standings after the first round on the screen for you at the moment. Did that fail? Oh no, sorry, the screen just took a little while to update. So Mohamed Lekal is leading from Antoine Garcia from Mehrdad Zafari at the moment. But we've only just seen the openers go in and quite a few people put quite an easy one in. Yes. So we might see some bigger jumps.
They haven't even started yet. Give them a round of applause, please. The spotting and loading team. Doing a great job, guys. Leopard job.
So we're just ticking down now the minute that we have to add in because we only have 5 competitors in this class. And then as the clock ticks down, we have Benjamin Yu from Canada coming out for 172.5. 7.5 kilo increase doesn't sound like a lot, but these lifters are all under 59 kilos body weight. Second international for Benjamin. Last saw him in Helsingborg, 2019. A little bit wobbly on the way up.
It was. Let's see what the judges say.
No points for style in powerlifting. He got it back to the top. He went deep enough and he stood back upright with it. But I think this very wide stance does give you that little bit of insecurity.
It does, and it's a gamble sometimes with that.
His knees caved just a little bit as he started to come up.
Interestingly, that's only 2.5 from his nominated max, so he's definitely going for a PB today.
Well, let's hope he gets it.
Yeah.
We have Takaharu Ebihara from Japan. Opened with 180, he's only gone up 2.5. Now, that can sometimes happen, because I don't think his opener was so hard that he'd only go up 2.5.
No, definitely not.
But I think maybe he didn't get his attempt in quick enough. So if you don't get your attempt, or your second attempt in within the 60 seconds, you'll get a 2.5 kilo increment. And I wonder if that's what's happened here. A lot of lifters don't have that rule, or it's not enforced at their nationals. So it's a little bit of a learning experience when you come to Worlds. Nice.
Very, very quick.
Yeah, I think that 2.5 was a mistake. I think he'll go up a chunky one for his third.
Or he might be saving energy for the third attempt.
Maybe so.
Maybe.
Risky strategy though, in case you don't get your third attempt.
It is. There's someone who's very popular for that, Emil Nolan, in the 105s. He
Yeah.
tends to actually skip second attempts.
I've seen him do it. You've been scouting the competition in your class.
I have to.
It's hard to fight that deadlift though, isn't it? He's got
It
a cracking
is.
deadlift.
It's one that's reliable.
So next out we have Mehrdad Zafari, and he's looking for 190. He's gone up 5. Wasn't super easy his opener.
I think, oh no, this was the one that was slow that you weren't sure about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That looks like right on the edge to me.
It is, but he's a fighter, so it'll be interesting to see what he puts on his third.
He's definitely got some grind, but he's going so deep. I think it's taking kilos away.
Very true.
He was about a foot in there.
When you squat with heels, it's an issue to like judge depth sometimes. That's why flats tend to be better. But
So we have Mohamed Lakahal now coming out for a M1, a Masters 1 world record at 2:15. Although it's an open category, we do have Masters and Juniors lifting in here. They can't take a small increment. They can't take a half a kilo increase for a Masters record, but they can absolutely break it. $2.15 on the bar. And it's a lot of work, but he's driving it up.
what a battle.
Let's see what the refs think. 3 white lights, that is a new M1 world record
That was amazing to see.
for Zafari. he got a clip around the ear of his coach as he went
did?
off there. So it'll be interesting to see whether he comes out again, because that looked to me on the limit.
That was max effort, and that was a world record, so might as well cap it there.
I think so. I think I'd take the energy and take the win. Antoine Garcia next for 2:15. So he's taking the same weight. So he's gone after Lekahol because he has the higher lot number, but he has the lower body weight. So he will move ahead if he gets this. And that's not going.
That's
I think
unfortunate.
he just made a small mistake at the bottom. I think he just got a little bit out of position. I think he's got every chance of nailing that next time out.
Just like you mentioned in his first attempt, it's just wobbly going into the hole.
Yeah. So if we watch that back, he goes down reasonably well, but then, yeah, his hips rise a little early, and he's just a bit out of position. I think he'll nail that on his next time
He'll
round.
be good.
So if we get an opportunity to look at the standings now, we have Mohamed Lekahal, who just took the M1 squat record in the lead, ahead of Antoine Garcia, ahead of Mehrdad Zafari. In fact, so that means an M1 lifter is in the lead in the Open. That's pretty impressive.
It is pretty impressive. It's giving me flashbacks to British Nationals.
Oh, you were up against Sam Watt, weren't
Yes.
you? M2 lifter, yeah. So we're just counting down now the 1 minute we have between each lifter. Just a good opportunity to thank our sponsors, Eleiko, manufacturers of the best platform equipment in the world, and SBD, an apparel manufacturer relied upon by strength athletes all over the world.
So we're now loading the bar to 177.
And we move into the third round of squats with Benjamin Yu for 177.5. Small PB here.
It is.
His lifts look easy though, haven't they?
They have. They've looked very consistent. I think he did 172.5 for his last attempt, so we're interested to see how this moves.
And that may go another 2.5 kilos at the end of the round. Bar is loaded. 177.5 kilos.
Here it comes, he looks focused. Had quite a difficult journey here. His kit didn't arrive with him. I know this, he was on the same bus.
Really?
Yeah.
Didn't know that. Interestingly enough, he's got his belt backwards, which is, I don't see that often.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's SBD belt.
Yeah, he's cut that. He's just too nervous of it, I think.
Moved really, really good, but unfortunately, we'll see what the judges say.
Yeah, 2-1, no lift. A red card in squat is always for depth. But you can see he was nervous of it on the descent. It wasn't as assured as the rest, and he just cut it a little short. Leaves him with the best of 172.5. So there's no one correct way to squat. Everyone's mechanics are slightly different in terms of limb length and even how the femur inserts into the hip. So although that squat style looks a little uncomfortable to me, presumably he's been working at that and that's what works best for him.
Yeah. Let's see what Zavari can grind out this time.
Okay, so this is going to be for medals now. We're looking to give out the single lift medals in squat. And Mehrdad Zafari here looking for 195. He's in third place. He can't catch Garcia, who's already got 207.5 on the board. But he's going to want to keep ahead of the Japanese lifter, who's put 200 in for his next. Not quite,
Yeah,
not quite.
a bit too much.
So he's got the bronze medal in squat right now. He's going to have a tense few minutes in the back now, waiting for Ebihara to come out. See, looking at the attempts there for Ebihara, I think we're right that the 182 was a mistake because he's gone all the way up to 200.
Yes.
I think he probably planned to go 180, 190, 200. And in that situation, some people elect to not come out for their second, but just do the 190 in the back. But in this case, he came out for 182, and now we've got 200 to take the squat bronze. Nice.
Speed was amazing. Let's see what the judges say.
3 white lights, and that is the bronze medal in squat for Ebihara. Now we are going to sort out the gold medal. Antoine Garcia comes out first for 215. He missed this last time, but we think it was just a technical error, and hopefully he can nail this time. You can see from the grey bar at the top of the graphic, this will move him from rank 2 to rank 1. Looking a bit shaky.
Yeah, shaking.
Oh, that was so close. You know, I think if he'd nailed it on his second, it would have been fine, but he just used up too much energy. It takes a lot of energy to fail a squat.
It's a brave attempt.
It was. Leaves him with the best of 207.5, and he takes the silver medal in squat. And now we have Mohamed Lekahal. He is coming out to extend the M1 squat record he set in the second round, but it looked on the edge.
It did look on the edge. It'll be interesting to see what he does.
He's just 40, so this is his first year in the Masters, just popped up into class. No. Well, I don't think he would have stood up with it anyway, to be honest. The 215 looked absolutely on the edge, but he walks away with the gold medal in squat. He is leading the competition and the M1 squat record. So we're going to have a 20-minute break now, and I hope you'll join us back for bench. Welcome back to the IPF World Classic Powerlifting Championships 2022. Presented by Leico and SBD, we are in the 50th anniversary year of the IPF. Founded in 1972, we are now 50 years in, and we have celebration books and more events to come as we go through the year. We're currently in South Africa. We are hosted by the South African Powerlifting Federation, and it's fantastic to be here in Sun City. I'm here with Abdul Suleiman Mo, who has joined us for commentary today, and I hope he'll join us for future sessions as we go through the week. First trip to South Africa?
First time in South Africa.
I've been to a few of the South African events, and it's such a journey to get here, but the destination is always worth it. It's absolutely fantastic. So we're in the first session of the competition, the 59 kilo class, and here are the standings as we go in. In fact, this is the running order for bench rather than the standings. Just as I look at that, you can see that two of the lifters have weighed in bang on 59. So I wonder if there was a little bit of a difficult weight cut.
I was going to say, because like South Africa is so far, and the 59 kg class is a small class, so having to fly and then also water cut might affect some of their performances we see actually.
It also gives us a bit of an issue in that two of the lifters weighed in at 59.00, two of the lifters at 58.70. So if they end up on the same total, and we can look at the prognosis now, we have Lacahol and Garcia are forecasted to end up on the same total, so then we have a bit of an odd rule, which is it's first past the post.
Oh.
If they're exactly the same body weight and they do exactly the same total, then it's the lower deadlift that wins because it's the first to make the total. You don't see that happen very often. It's a little bit of an obscure rule.
So does that mean lot number dictates who wins then, to an extent?
Lot number or the lower deadlift.
The lower deadlift.
Yeah, just the first person to get that total in takes the win. There's no other way you can separate them, really.
Interesting.
But we are underway now, and we have Mohamed Lacahol from Algeria with 92.5 on the bar. Mo, you pointed out that he increased his opener there. Could be strategic, could be that warm-up felt great.
Maybe, we'll see.
Nice and easy there.
Yeah, warm-ups also felt great.
Rewind lights and a good lift. 115 on the bar now. Mehrdad Safari, Iran.
Keeps everything well planted. The feet must stay flat on the floor, the butt must remain on the bench, and the head must stay down too. Mehrdad Zafari from Iran is coming out next, and he's looking for 115. He's ready to come out. We just have the referee back in his chair now, so we are good to go. This matches his current PB. Strong.
Very strong. Different to his squat opener.
Yes, it did, didn't it? Maybe benches his lift.
Maybe.
Yeah, that looked great. He got a load of leg drive in, but the butt stayed down. Always a problem when you try and employ too much leg drive and the butt comes off the bench. And we see it a lot as well when people don't train on competition standard equipment, so their bench might be a little higher. Antoine Garcia, Team France.
We'll be looking to catch up to Lacahol in this, because this looks like his specialty bench.
Yeah, 115 coming out. We've got two lifters coming out for 130, that is a big bench for a 59 kilo lifter. Now, it took a while for him to get the press command there. I think it was just moving about on his chest just a little bit.
Yeah, but he got the 3 white lights.
So if you watch that come down, It just, yeah, I think his left hand just rotated a little bit, so the bar was moving around, and you won't get the press command until it is absolutely still on your chest. Takaharu Ebihara, Japan, for 130. Now, this is where we see the Japanese team really excel in the bench technique. We saw some phenomenal lifting in Kazakhstan.
I'll be doing my best to take some notes because I need a big bench.
Setting up Japanese grip there. And taking a self lift off, it does remove any differences you might get from the lift off. And that was beautiful.
Amazing bench.
That's a good lift for one night at Ebihara. 130 remains on the bar for Benjamin Yu of Canada. Bars loaded.
Well, that is a great bench for a 59 kilo lifter, but looking at the world records, the world record is actually 171.
Yes.
Benjamin Yu next, Canada. He's also coming out for 130.
I believe he's also using the Japanese grip, isn't he?
Oh, I looked away for a moment, so I can't quite tell from this angle. But I think you're right, actually, he is. But that was hard off the chest.
That was hard off the chest. Wasn't as easy as
Oh, we've got failures from the side referees. So if we watch the replay back, Benjamin looks a little confused. Yeah, butt's already up. His butt did not touch the bench throughout the press. So that is no lift. We have the bench press standings for you on the screen at the moment, with Ebihara leading from Garcia from Zafari.
Please let them know they can watch the action live on the Olympic channel.
Just a little bit of confusion from the lifter because we have the minute grace between at the end of each round because we only have 5 lifters in class. So it's difficult for the lifter now when they've worked themselves up and they've fired out onto the platform. You've got to damp those fires down and go back into the wings. Depends on the lifter. I think he's quite a calm lifter. Are you a hype lifter?
On comp day I am.
Yeah.
Yes. It throws you off if you have to hype yourself and then re-hype yourself up
absolutely.
again.
Yeah. So we're loading the bar now for Mohamed Lakahal from Algeria. He's gone up 5 kilos to 97.5.
Bar is loaded, 97.5 kilos, Mohamed Lakihal, Algeria.
Slow and steady. Probably wouldn't give him more than 2.5 for the next one.
No.
I think he got a red light from the... Yeah, you can see his head come up right there. So only the centre referee saw that. From the side referee's perspective, it's really hard because the plates obscure the lifter's head. But I am seeing the jury discuss it, and the jury's on their feet. I think they're going to overturn it. The lifting of the head is the one that you see overturned the most because the side referees just cannot catch it. So the centre referee gets it and then the jury see it on the replay.
And also the Algerian coach looks a bit confused, so he might be trying to argue his way back for that too.
Yeah, but that was, we saw it on the replay, that was clear. And the jury have the replay on their desk, so they see that clear as day. Antoine Garcia now, Team France for 120. The Algerian lifter has got 100 in for his third, but he'll have the opportunity to put that down again, given his second was overturned. That was a tough one. Good lift, but what do you think? Has he got much more left there?
Let's see. I think based off from my angle, it looked relatively easy, but just like his squat, at the bottom seems to be an issue for him in general. So it just depends on if he can control it to his chest, keep it there, and actually press out.
I have a similar bench. If I can get it off the chest, it'll go all the way, but getting it off the chest is the key.
I think that's one of the key things with equipped, more technical gain to the chest actually.
So we have Mehrdad Zafari from Iran. Gone up 7.5 to 122.5. Some effort, never in any doubt.
Obviously he has about 2.5 extra maybe, give or take.
Maybe so.
Second attempt at this weight.
So Benjamin Yu is out next. He had a very strong bench, but he could not. His butt wasn't even down on the descent.
Yes, I remember this. Yeah.
He looked very confused, so I suspect he trains on non-standard equipment.
Benjamin Yu, Canada.
And the new Alico benches are a lot wider, so actually it takes a while to get used to it.
Being sent out there by Jeff Butt, very experienced Canadian coach. And this is his second attempt at 130, so he just needs to adjust and calibrate. There's Jeff. Very familiar face to anyone who's lifted internationally over the past, I couldn't even guess how many years. Well, here's Benjamin Yu for his second attempt at 130. Yeah, the press is easy.
The same issue.
So there's no lift for you.
So, if we watch the replay back, yeah, his butt never touched the bench.
It would be a technique thing. I don't know what we have to do to change it. Hopefully they should have noticed that in the warm-up room actually.
It's a difficult one, isn't it? Because if that's how he trains with all his weight on his legs, really braced, and he's used to the bench being higher, then
not much he can change now.
It's going to be a difficult one for him.
He's going to have to sacrifice some of that arch, definitely, if he wants to get that bomb down.
So we have Takaharu Ebihara from Japan now. He's going to move ahead. He's in gold medal position already. It looked like he'd been in a tight fight with Benjamin Yu, but Benjamin has yet to put a successful bench in. So this is 135 for Ebihara. Nice.
That was amazing.
Very good indeed. Did not look any slower than his opener.
He did not. I think he's on track to hit 140 like his nominated bench. So
Okay.
yeah, maybe push past that a bit.
It did look like he had another 5 kilos in him. Looking down the standings now, most people are taking a 2.5 kilo jump, and those that have missed their lift are just repeating it. Yeah, the Algerian lifter did come down to 97.5. Usually on bench you can't change your attempt, but if you've already put your attempt in and then the second gets overturned, you get the opportunity to change it, which is only fair. So we have the subtotals on the screen at the minute, and Ebihara is leading the way, but he's only just ahead of Garcia, who is still under pressure from Zafari. So this is going to be a tight race all the way down.
Absolute privilege to be here in Sun City. Beautiful weather outside. Apparently this is South African winter. It's warmer than Great British summer, I can tell you that.
Our next lifter out will be Mohamed Lakahol from Algeria. He took the squat world record and the squat gold.
Okay, so we're looking about 97.5 kilos for Lakiha, Algeria.
Opened with 92.5, missed 97.5 for his second, and he's coming out for another attempt at it.
Bars loaded, 97.5 kilos, Lakihal, Algeria.
Here we go. He is sitting in third place on prognosis overall at the moment, and this will move him ahead of Garcia. Look good from here.
Look good.
Okay, let's see how that looks. 3 white lights and a good day for Lakihal.
So he finishes off the podium in bench, but he's building his total now, and he's moved up to... Now his prognosis is just 2.5 kilos behind the French lifter Garcia. So he's in the fight for the overall bronze. And here comes Antoine Garcia for 122.5. I think we said another 2.5 was about where it was for him.
Yeah. It's just that sticking point on his chest.
Bar is loaded. 122.5 kilos, Antoine Garcia, France.
Currently in third place on bench. This will move him up to the silver medal, with Zafari still to respond. No, not quite.
Yeah, he just lost that line a little bit off his chest again.
Yeah, I think so, but I think he was also up against the strength limit. I think because technique, as soon as you're fighting against a weight that's just a little too heavy, technique goes out of the window.
True.
So that leaves him with the best of 120, and he's still got hold of the... excuse me, yeah, still got hold of the bronze.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see how the Deadlift play out with him and Lakihal.
And here comes Mehrdad Safari to move ahead. Again, we thought he only had about 2.5 kilos left, so I think this is going to be on the edge. I think he's got it.
Impressive fight, definitely. I think based off Zafari's second squat, we know he can fight.
We know he's got some grind. So he did get one yellow light, so watching that back. I think it's one of those where did his butt quite come up. It was a bit marginal, so 2-1 a good lift. I think that's reasonable. So he is sitting in second place right now with Benjamin Yu, yet to make a successful bench. He's repeating the same weight, which I think is right.
And this will keep him from bombing out the meat, won't it?
It absolutely will. No, it's a strong bench. The weight is presenting no problem. See, I think he's moved his position, hasn't he? He's moved his feet. Now that looks good. And he's on the board. He's on the board, and he moves right up into the silver medal position on the bench.
He's had to sacrifice some of that arch just to get the bump down, but
I think he moved his feet quite a long way forward.
okay, yeah.
And I think that kept him planted, but it was obviously the lift was so much harder for him, but luckily within his range. One more bench press to go, and that is Ebihara of Japan, who has looked superb. Looking for 140. Guaranteed the gold medal in bench.
And has the second highest opening in deadlift.
I think we could be looking at a runaway winner here. Did he jump that? He didn't get it anyway. that's surprising. His second looked great.
Technique was always consistent, but it just seemed to start windmilling, and like you'd think.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if he jumped the press command, which is generally a sign that the lifter's finding the weight quite heavy and is wanting to get it off the chest. So that left us with Ebihara taking the gold on bench, Yu takes the silver after quite a frightening few moments, and Zafari takes the bronze. Hopefully we'll get the overall standings. Here they come. So that means Ebihara is leading the way at subtotal, but only just ahead of Garcia, who's just ahead of Zafari. But as you say, with Ebihara having the highest deadlift opener.
The second highest, so he should be a clear winner if hopefully nothing goes wrong.
Well, anything can happen in sport.
Exactly, anything can happen in sport.
We're going to take a 20-minute break now. Join us back for deadlift. Welcome back to the IPF World Classic Powerlifting Championships. We are live from Sun City, South Africa, and what a fabulous venue we've got here in Sun City. We're in the midst of Sun City, which is 2-3 hours north of Johannesburg. The hotel accommodation is absolutely fabulous, set in these amazing gardens full of tropical birds, and a few lifters have had a few encounters with monkeys.
Yeah.
So it's very important that everyone keeps their windows shut and keeps the monkeys out of the room. But it is such a fantastic place to be. A lot of lifters have had quite a difficult journey, but it's a glorious destination when you finally get here.
Yeah, it was definitely worth it.
So we've got the running order as we go into deadlifts in the 59 kilo class now. And Benjamin Yu is going to lead us out. Looks like Garcia has the heaviest opening deadlift. And that's the overall standings and the prognosis on total. Obviously no one's got to deadlift in yet, but if they've got their opening lift in, the total in yellow there is what they will end up on. So it looks like Ebihara is under some quite fierce pressure from Garcia, and Zafari and Lakahol I think are going to be in the battle for third place.
Yeah, it seems like Lakahol has dropped his deadlift opener, if not, and then Garcia's definitely upped his by quite a bit.
Yeah, looking at the board, 4 out of the 5 lifter has made a change. We can see that there's been a change, but we don't get to see what the change was. So a lot of strategic gameplay going on in there. I think the coaches are earning their money at the moment. Actually, I spoke to the Canadian coach, Garrett Bentley, in the break, and he says that Benjamin Yu, who had all of that trouble on bench, he trains on a bench that has a very soft pad that he can sink into. And there's absolutely no sinking into the Eleiko bench. So that's what threw him off, and that's why we saw him barely get his butt down even on the descent of the bar. So it's so important to train on competition standard equipment. And here comes Benjamin now, opening his deadlift with 190 kilos. Super wide sumo. He's got mixed grip, hook grip.
Oh, that's interesting.
I haven't seen that very often. Oh, that was lovely.
That was easy, yeah.
Last time I saw that was Derek Ng, who pulled 275 in this class, I think, in Helsingborg. What is the current world record? 275, that's Derek Ng. And he did that as well. He did the mixed grip, but hook gripped as well. So that bar's not going anywhere.
Oh.
Yeah, unusual. You don't see it very often.
It is very unusual, because you would think just having hook by itself wouldn't be an issue.
Yeah, so the point of hook is that you don't have to have mixed grip.
Yes. Best of both worlds, I guess.
So here comes Ebihara for 210. But I guess the thinking is if it worked for Derek Ng and he pulled 275 in the 59s and he absolutely smoked it, I remember that lift like it was yesterday, then it must be worth a try. There we go for Takeharu Ebihara from Japan. Gets his deadlift opener in.
Nice and easy.
Next on the bar, 210 from Mohamed Lakihal, Algeria, 210 kilos.
And next out, Mohamed Lakahal from Algeria for 210. The rankings are shown on the graphic at the moment, but until everyone gets the first deadlift in, it's a little bit meaningless.
No, he's got a very narrow sumo stance.
Yeah, sort of semi-sumo, but really turned out on the toes.
Yeah.
Now hips came up very early. I don't think that's a style that you would teach.
No.
But it must be due to his own mechanics and the way, probably the way the femur sits into the hip.
Yeah. Funny
Worked.
enough, I've actually narrowed my deadlift stance also, so
Okay.
it tends to work if you rely better on your lower back strength
Okay.
rather than your leg drive. So see how it plays out for him.
Well, I think that's right because we saw his hips came up as he started to pull before he really engaged the bar. Mehrdad Zafari now from Iran for 212.5. I think we're going to see some interesting attempts as we move through now, because we've got some quite closely ranked lifters. Oh, it came up well, but that was a tough lockout.
It was a tough lockout, yeah.
He got a red from the centre referee on deadlift. The red card is for lockout. So either his knee's not locked or his shoulder's not back.
Now this is where Anton will decide to make his plays for podium position or maybe even the gold.
He could well, because he's not quite 10 kilos ahead on his deadlift openers, but also we don't know what kind of jumps they're going to make.
Yeah.
So I think how this goes will really inform the rest of the competition.
I do really like the gold buckle on this belt though.
I was just admiring he's got his team colours on his belt.
Yeah.
That was super easy. Look at him walk off. He knows he did that well. He knows he's got a lot more to come. And he is in the fight for first place. So here we go. Those are the standings for the deadlift medals, with Garcia leading the way from Zafari from Ebihara. And here's the overall, with Garcia only 2.5 kilos ahead of Ebihara, so he's moved ahead with that phenomenal deadlift. And then the next two, I think, are a little bit behind. It's going to be hard for them to catch up, but they're nip and tuck fighting for the bronze medal.
It'll be interesting to see who ends up with bronze for this.
Yeah, absolutely.
If the M1 lifter will come on top, or if Zafari will be able to grind his way through it.
And we know he's got a lot of grind. So Benjamin Yu has... I'm sorry, this is the... I saw the red light on the timer come up, but this is the minute we have between rounds. And we are through to the second round now, and Benjamin Yu is coming out for 202.5. Quite a big jump from his opener.
It's a 12.5 kg jump.
But it was comfortable.
But 12.5 is a lot for 59 kg.
It is,
man.
it is.
Yeah, it is.
This won't quite move him up. I think it's a shame he struggled so much on bench. I think he would have been further ahead had he got... It looked like his opening bench was so easy, it looked like he expected at least another 10 kilos on there.
I think it was maybe aiming for maybe 140, 145, give or take.
So. But it's difficult to do your best work on the international stage. We've all had difficult journeys to get here. Especially from, it seems all the North American, Canadian lifters have had it's a long journey anyway, but there's been a lot of delays and cancellations. So just making it here at all is a triumph.
And I think you also mentioned he lost all his kit.
Yeah, we were on the bus from the airport, and he could see with his AirTag that his kit was, his bags were still in Amsterdam.
Wow.
So he's had a difficult time getting here, so he's doing well being on the platform at all. But here he is for 202.5, which is just a fraction under his current best. And that just didn't move.
And he's also touching his pecs, and maybe he's flared up something.
Yeah, he looks a bit uncomfortable, doesn't he?
So let's see how that goes in the third round. 270.5 on the bar now.
Yeah, that's a shame. I wonder whether he'll actually come out again.
For his third. Interestingly enough, he squatted benched with the same shoes, so maybe with the kit
he
lost,
hasn't got his kit.
he's not really comfortable in lifting.
He did. Was he wearing the same shoes as squat?
Same
he did
shoes
say
for
that his deadlift shoes were in his kit in Amsterdam.
Oh, okay.
So this is a lesson for international lifters. All your kit goes in your hand luggage, every bit. So next up we have Mehrdad Zafari from Iran for 217.5. Only got up 5, but he's really scrapping for medals now. So this will move him up in, no, he's sitting 2nd in deadlift right now, 3rd overall. So he's defending against the Algerian masters lifter. Again, a tough lockout. But not much difference for his opener, really.
Not much difference, it's the same place it's throwing.
Yeah. So I don't think I can call his 3rd one at all. He looks like he can just keep grinding through.
Almost reminds you of someone, Hannah.
So we have Takaharu Ebihara coming out now for 220. He's gone up 10 kilos. And this will put him into the gold medal position in deadlift and overall.
I think Takaharu will play a conservative game and just load it up for the final deadlift.
I think that makes sense, but Garcia's opener was so good, so strong. I think he'll just pull whatever he needs. So I'm already looking for, and they both have the same body weight, exactly the same body weight. And the, wow.
That was an easy second.
Really was.
Yeah.
But Ebihara has the lower lot number, so if they pick the same weight, he'll have to go first. So I think we're going to see it's a little bit of battle there with the coaches, trying to pressure each other into a lift they can't do.
But also be interesting because, like you mentioned, the lifter that gets the total first also gets the gold medal. So yeah.
So yeah, so the lot number could play both ways in this case. But we have Mohamed Lakahal on the platform right now, and he's looking for 220 for his 2nd. Oh, do you know, that's a shame. That was just a technical error halfway up. Now, the bar stalled. Did it dip? Yep, the blue card is for either supporting on the thighs or the downward movement of the bar. And if we watch that back, yeah, you see his left knee just come out. And the left knee slides under the bar, and then inevitably the bar's resting on the thighs. So he got blue cards for that.
It's an interesting narrow stance, but very upright at the same time, which don't go together really.
No.
When you go narrow.
We have Antoine Garcia coming out next. This is the battle for overall gold. He's gone up to 230 to move back ahead. And that was a good lift. We didn't get to see too much of the lift there. Hopefully on the replay we'll see a little bit more of it. And that was super easy.
Super easy. One thing to notice though, he has a very low grip on his mixed grip. So that can work two ways.
Do you mean low in the hand?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
It's almost like I believe a monkey style grip. I think that's what they call it.
Okay.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how that plays out on heavy loads.
Okay, I didn't notice that. I'll look out for that on the 3rd round. That's interesting because I do see, was it thumbless even?
I think so. Almost.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, we'll see
Because that gives you, that reduces your range of motion slightly, and if all your strength is coming from your fingers, then it gives you a slight advantage. So we'll keep an eye out for that when he comes out for his 3rd. So here are the overall standings as we go into the final round of deadlift, with Antoine Garcia of France on 557.5 and Takaharu Ebihara on 555, so 2.5 kilos behind. We're going to see a real deadlift battle here. And looking ahead, I can see Garcia's put in a massive 247.5. Is he going to come out for that? I don't think so.
No,
that's a placeholder.
It's all just playing games now.
Yeah, so he's looking to force Ebihara into a mistake because Garcia's ahead. He just needs to force the Japanese lifter to come out for a lift he cannot do. We have Benjamin Yu on the platform right now. Not had the best day. 202.5 did not break the floor last time. Interesting, like you said, that he has his belt on all the way around the back. I bet he can't get out of that himself. Not quite. So that leaves him with the best deadlift of 190 and a total of 492.5, fifth place.
Second attempt at this weight. Close last time, but Blues.
Mohamed Lakahal from Algeria, he took the M1 squat record and the squat gold with 215. He missed 220 last time and he's coming out for another attempt at it to try for the deadlift bronze and the overall bronze. But obviously Zafari still has the opportunity to respond.
Yeah.
The chief referee has called for the bar to be cleaned. This is mandatory between every deadlift in the third round. Can be requested by a coach, otherwise, but mandatory. Bar is loaded. 220 kilos. Mohamed Lakihal, Algeria.
For the bronze medal.
Provisional bronze, both deadlift and total.
Oh, that's such a shame. That was so hard to get moving. I thought he wasn't going to get it moving, but once it started, it accelerated and I thought he had it.
Yeah, I thought he was very good for it.
Yeah.
It's
So that's a shame. Leaves him with the best deadlift of 210, 522.5 total, fourth place. We have Mehrdad Zafari from Iran coming out now for 222.5. He's sitting in third overall and third in deadlift. This won't move him up into the overall. The leaders are a good 20 kilos up the road, but this will move him up to silver medal in deadlift.
I think he also gives him a little PB.
Oh, not quite. That's a shame. It looked like it was still moving.
It might just be the effect of the flight plus the weight cut also.
It could well be. It could well be.
This, if successful, will be a world record Masters 1 total.
I hadn't spotted that the Japanese lifter Takaharu Ebihara is also a Masters lifter, 42 years old.
You will also get the provisional gold.
And he is going for a Masters 1 world record in deadlift. 235 on the bar. So it looks like this, no, in fact, this is everything, isn't it? This is an M1 world record, deadlift gold, overall gold.
Total record. Japan, are you ready? The bar is loaded. 225 kilos. Japan.
Here we go, M1 world record on the bar. This has stood for since 2016, Killeen. Currently belongs to Eric Kupperstein. World record, world championship title, one pull. No, not quite. It was a valiant effort.
It was a valiant effort.
So he doesn't get the record and he now cannot improve. That means he finishes with the silver in deadlift and the silver overall, and Antoine Garcia is already the new 59 kilo world champion. Interesting to see. Oh, he's come down to 237.5.
He's already world champion.
That's the lowest he could come out for because he had the higher lot number, so he couldn't drop to 235.
I believe this is a French national record. So
I just heard the speaker say this is a French national record. He looks good for it though, right?
I think he does, definitely. Based off the speed of his first and second, should be easy.
It's not always clear when lifters take odd jumps for their final when they're not under pressure. It's not always clear quite what they're going for. So it's great if the coaches come and tell us that, you know, this is the French national record or whatever it is. The lifters often have personal goals that aren't clear to us when we're just looking at the world records.
Antoine Garcia of France. Allez, France, allez.
Here it comes. Hard to maintain the intensity though, right? When he's already won, he must be celebrating like crazy inside. Super easy.
I think he was maybe even good for the 240,
I think
245.
maybe he was, yeah. We kind of said that 245, there's no way he's coming out for that, but he might well have been good for it. Fantastic deadlifting there for a new world champion, Antoine Garcia of France.
And it's also an extra point for Team France for the men's open team.
Absolutely. So I'm hoping we're going to get the standings. Here we go. These are the deadlift medals. So Garcia took the gold, Ebihara the silver, and Zafari the bronze. And here's the overall, with Antoine Garcia being the new world champion, Ebihara having to be happy with the silver, having missed the world record attempt on his third deadlift, and Zafari takes the bronze ahead of Lacahall. So that was a great session to open the championships. I'm glad to have Abdul Suleiman here with me today. Grateful for you taking the time out to come and join us in the commentary booth.
Anytime.
And we have the medal ceremony coming up next. I do hope you'll stick around for that. And the 47 kilo ladies class is on at 1 p.m.
I think, by Xavier de Couturac of France. So first of all, we will do the medals for squat. Taking the bronze medal with 200 kilos from Japan, Takaharu Ebihara. Oh, first of all, they will present the participation medals. My very great apologies. So, now we have the participation medals. The bronze medal for squat with 200 kilos from Japan, Takaharu Ebihara. Taking the silver medal in squat with 207.5 kilos from France, Antoine Garcia. And taking the gold medal on squat with 215 kilos and a new Masters 1 world record to boot from Algeria, Mohamed Lakihal. Great job, gentlemen. Thank you. And now bench press. Taking the bronze medal in bench press with 125 kilos from Iran, Mehrdad Zafari. Silver medal in bench press with 130 kilos from Canada, Ben Yu. Very glad you got that one, Ben. And you're the gold medal in bench press with 135 kilos from Japan, Takaharu Ebihara. Great job, guys. Great job. Thank you. And now the medals for deadlift. Taking the bronze medal with 217.5 kilos from Iran, Mehrdad Zafari. Silver medal in deadlift with 220 kilos from Japan, Takaharu Ebihara. And the gold medal in deadlift, 237.5 kilos, from France, Antoine Garcia. Well done, guys. Thank you. And now it is time to crown the new world champion, taking the bronze medal overall with a total of 532.5 kilos from Iran, Mehrdad Zafari. Silver medal with 555 kilos from Japan, Takaharu Ebihara. And your new 59 kilo open world champion with 565 kilos from France, Antoine Garcia. Ladies and gentlemen, please be upstanding for the national anthem of France. Great job, gentlemen, great job. A really close competition in the end, and really exciting to see. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in giving these guys a round of applause as they follow the technical controller off the platform.